Pretend you love me. For just 10 minutes, the CEO's voice trembled, but her chin stayed high. Daniel, the single dad janitor, tightened his grip on the mop. He didn't know why she was asking, but what he did next made the entire boardroom stop breathing. The marble floors of Kensington Global's headquarters gleamed like mirrors, reflecting the morning rush of expensive shoes and expensive lives. To most here, the man in faded work boots and a janitor's uniform was nothing more than part of the background. Daniel Price preferred it that way. A widower at 34, he had traded his dreams for stability the moment he'd lost his wife. With a 4-year-old son at home and bills that never seemed to shrink, he kept his head down, mopping floors and emptying trash bins before most of the office even noticed he was there. But on this morning, someone noticed. The elevator doors slid open, and Victoria Hawley stepped out. She was the kind of woman who drew attention without trying, tall, poised, every step precise. The CEO of Kensington Global. To the world, she was untouchable. To Daniel, she was just another person whose coffee cup he might one day have to clean. She stopped in front of him. Her eyes cool, steel gray locked on his. Pretend you love me. For 10 minutes, the mop handle nearly slipped from his hands. I'm sorry, she didn't let him finish. Her manicured fingers hooked into the crook of his arm, her voice barely above a whisper. Please, just walk with me. They entered the boardroom together, the click of her heels echoing against the high ceiling. Daniel felt the weight of a dozen stares burn into him. Men in $1,000 suits paused mid-sentence. A few exchanged glances that carried an unspoken question. What is he doing here? Victoria led him to the head of the table. Her hand rested lightly against his chest, and she smiled a warm, almost intimate smile Daniel had never seen from her. This, she said to the room, is the man I trust most in this building. The silence was sharp. One man in the corner let out a short, humorless laugh. Another leaned back, smirking. Daniel didn't know what game he'd just been pulled into, but he could read a room. And this room wasn't here to support her. It was here to test her. As the meeting began, Daniel caught the subtle signs. The way an older man's knuckles whitened on his pen. The way two others exchanged quick, almost predatory looks when Victoria spoke. This wasn't business. It was a challenge. Halfway through, one of the investors finally spoke. So this is the mystery fiance you've kept hidden? The words dripped with sarcasm. Daniel's jaw tightened, but he forced a smile. Unexpected, I know. But sometimes the most valuable partnerships aren't the ones people expect. He let the silence stretch a moment before adding, when someone stands beside you through the worst storms, you don't let them go. Not. For anyone. The shift was instant. The smirks faded. Eyes that had been sharp with judgment now flickered with uncertainty. For the rest of the meeting, Victoria spoke with renewed control, her voice steady, her authority unquestioned. Daniel stayed by her side, silent when he needed to be, speaking only to reinforce her words when an undercurrent of doubt surfaced. 10 minutes later, the meeting ended with signatures on the deal she'd been fighting for. In the hallway outside. Victoria let go of his arm. Her shoulders, always held in perfect posture, lowered slightly as if releasing a weight. You didn't just play along, she said quietly. You read the room. You backed me up at exactly the right moment. Daniel shrugged. Didn't have to pretend. Her brows lifted. I may be a janitor now, he said, but I know loyalty. I know what it's worth. And I know when someone's standing alone in a fight. Something unreadable passed through her eyes. Respect, maybe even gratitude. Thank you, Daniel. That evening, Daniel returned to his small apartment. His son ran to him, arms wide, chattering about his day. Daniel lifted him up, smiling. The mop, the suit, the boardroom, it all faded in that moment. Because while the world might see him as a man with nothing, today had reminded him of something he hadn't felt in years. He had stood in the heart of power and mattered. Sometimes strength isn't about titles or wealth. It's about showing up when someone needs you most even if it's only for 10 minutes.